gentle. I'm so like, like everything I touch is like ready to break everything. Instead of just being gentle and, I mean, my personality is my personality, but I could always be a little more gentle. My wife tells me, hey, turn it down a little bit. Right? Sometimes people misunderstand you because you're being because you're zealous or you're passionate about what you do, and it sounds more like you're being rough and you're being, So I'm learning. It tells us that we have to learn these things. Now look what it says. And patience. How many of us, honestly, really, are patient? Certain situations we're patient, right? But other circumstances are like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And like, if you have to wait 3 minutes for something, you're ready to like crack. And if it doesn't happen, we get so angry and bitter. And it's like God says, no, wait, you have to be patient. Well, I got a lot of growing to do, but if we don't listen, if you're not somewhere that's going to challenge you, you're in the wrong place. We need to get challenged all the time to actually walk this out, live this out. If we don't, we never will. Human beings don't want to do anything they don't have to do. If you don't challenge me, I won't do it. I'm just going to sit here and listen to the word and go home and do my thing like I do each and every day, make no changes in my life, and be a miserable Christian. I had a bad day today. No. Every time you open your eyes as a born-again Christian should be a good day. No matter what's going on in your life. If you know God, the true God of the Bible. Because He's navigating that day. And if we made some bad choices, He's going to work it all out for good for those that love God and are called according to His purpose. But if you're not loving God and are called according to His purpose, it's not going to work out well for you. Your choices. We think God's some genie. And God, how come I'm miserable today? You're miserable because of your sin nature. That's why. Your new nature doesn't have misery in it. Remember, when we go to heaven, our sin nature is going to be gone. We're never going to be miserable, angry, bitter, jealous, or any of that. Thank God, right? But I want some of that now. I need it now. How about you? Well, the Bible tells us we can have it. But we have to choose it. As you know, it's not natural for us to do the right thing. It's very unnatural for us to get in God's Word and to read it and to crucify our flesh. It's unnatural for us. The natural thing is bent towards the wrong thing. It's easy to overindulge in things to make us feel better. It's so easy not to come to church. It's so easy not to open the Bible when you're going through something. And it's so hard to open it when you're mad or you're not getting your way. And it's just so hard to do. Have you not noticed? Can I get an amen for that? The Bible is not going to help our feelings though. As a matter of fact, it's going to get rid of them. I want you to understand the facts of what I'm trying to tell you. You're born again, you're a new creature, you have my spirit in you now, and you no longer have to walk in the flesh anymore. Because that's the problem. My flesh is the problem. It really is. And if you're a growing Christian, you'll understand it's your flesh that's the problem, not the world. It's not the people in the world, it's our flesh. Okay? We're not accepting what God puts in front of us. The Spirit is ruling, but the flesh is. And Jesus told us that. He knows that. Now look what it says. Make allowances. Look verse 13. Make allowances for each other's faults. How do you make allowances? In other words, you have to already have that in the bank. If somebody's going to mistreat me, I already have to make that allowance already has to be made. It's not something that you can do instantly, because if somebody's instantly mean to you, your flesh starts coming out. It has to be something that's banked. Something has to be You have to choose to look. I'm going to make allowances. Whatever happens today, I'm going to make allowances for that. It says, make allowance for that, for each other's faults, and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, listen to this one. It says, remember, the Lord forgave you. So you must forgive others. And I don't want to hear, well, like, you don't understand my situation and it goes way back. No, Jesus understands all the situations and all our sins go way back. Okay? So we can't say, well, you don't know my situation. It says we must forgive others. In order to have that peace that comes from Christ, we have to have forgiveness. We have to forgive ourselves, understand God's forgiveness, and be able to forgive someone else. And you know when you forgive someone, and you know when you have, I tell you, when you see them, even though you might be nice, it's still something there. They don't see it, you know it. It's that little, I'm going to be nice to them, but I really don't want to be. That's the flesh. See, the spirit doesn't keep an account. If you can have holy amnesia every day, you'd be all set. You know that, right? If you can just forget what happened yesterday, all the offenses, all the bitterness, all the emotions from yesterday were just put aside, we'd have a great today. As soon as something happens, oh, remember this, or remember that, remember that, and remember this. It's only we keep record of all the stuff that's wrong, and we stop keeping record of what's right. And then amen for that. And remember, the Lord forgave you so much, and above all, clothe yourself with love. So you're going to get up in the morning, and you know what clothing yourself with love is? Do I have to bring you there? Yes, I'm bringing you there. If you want to clothe yourself with love, you go in the Bible and you read 1 Corinthians chapter 13 every morning, and you put that on. And we're going to read it right now. You have to clothe yourself with this. It has, like, listen, you've got clothes in the wardrobe, right? They don't just jump off the rack onto you. No, you have to go put them on. Just like this kind of love doesn't just jump on you. You have to choose this kind of love. You have to put this kind of love on and get rid of the other love. Do we want to talk this? Do we want to say this together? Yeah, let's do this. How's that? Ready? Verse 4, together. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of being wrong. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Amen. Just imagine if you can put that on every day. You leave the house and everything's, all you see is heaven. You don't see all the misery and all the crazy stuff going on. All you see is Jesus. Remember it says, you want to walk on the water, you have to keep your eyes fixed on who? Jesus, the author and finisher. If you take your eyes off of Jesus, you're not going to be able to be patient and kind. You're not going to be able to. You're going to take it off and look at the distraction. That guy that cut me off, the traffic, that this, that, all these things. Instead of looking at Jesus, which is this, we can't do. How many of us try to do this in the flesh? I try to do this. I try to do this, right? I can't do it. I cannot do this. That's why Christians get so miserable, because we can't do it. How come God tells me I can't do it? I want to do it, but I can't. Because you can't do it in your old nature. It's the new nature that has to grow. It has to be grown into. You have to put it on. You're going to get the Bible and put it on when you go out in the morning. come they get so quiet when it comes to this and saying, oh, I've been going to church and I love Jesus. Yeah, okay. How much do you love Jesus? Show me by the way you live how much you love me. That's what shows how much you live. It says, I want you to show mercy, not offer sacrifices. Now look what it says. Clothe yourselves with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony. Do you realize 1 Corinthians 13 in here, if we practice that with each other here, it's perfect in harmony. Everybody just loves each other. Everybody accepts each other. Everybody lets the Holy Spirit do its work. We have no bitterness or ill will towards our brothers and sisters in church. We forgive them. We make allowances for that. It all gets practiced what? Here. Now look what it says. And let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. How does something rule in your heart? By it possessing you. It rules in your heart because it's always in your heart. See, when you're always, when you're always thinking about Jesus and walking in his ways, it'll rule in your heart. It'll take over your sin nature. You have to let that happen, though. You have to let your sin nature get overtaken. It has to get overpowered. It's strong. I don't know about you, but I got a strong sin nature. That's a fact. That's why we need a Savior. Because we can't overcome our sin nature. It's impossible. Now look what it says. For as members of one body, we are called to live in what? Peace. There's no peace in talking about somebody. There's no peace in the flesh. There's no peace in the flesh. You come into here, in your flesh, there is no peace. You're going to find something wrong with him, her, this, the world. You're going to find something going on in here. Your flesh is going to find something wrong with something tonight. When your spirit doesn't see any wrong, it only sees what's right because we're in Christ. The spirit, look, Jesus said that I can see Jesus in everything. Imagine, when I talk to my wife, I got to talk to my wife like I'm talking to Jesus. I got to talk to my friends like I would talk to Jesus. That's what it's called. That's what it's going to tell us right now. Now look what it says. Teach and counsel each other with all the wisdom he gives. One thing that lacks in the church is people sharing each other and letting each know, teaching, counseling each other about what's going on in their lives and helping each other get through things. Instead of just keeping it all in saying, oh, I'm doing well, thank you. How can anybody help you when you don't tell them there's something wrong? Then you say, well, nobody talked to me tonight, and I'm going through a lot. Well, you never told anybody what you're going through. How are they going to help you? Everybody thinks it's osmosis. Like, I can just, why didn't they help me? Because you didn't ask for it. I don't know about you, but I need a lot of help. And God gives us the body for that kind of help. You know? The spiritual help and the brethren help. Look what it says. And let the peace rule in your hearts. For members of one body are called to live in peace and always be what? Thankful. Look at verse 16. Fill your life. Teaching counsel with sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs to God. What do you mean sing spiritual songs to God? Does it mean like you go out there, holy, 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 like people think you're nuts? No. People actually take that literally. With thankful hearts, and whatever you do or say, listen, this is what hits me between the eyes every day. If you really want to get challenged and you want to live for God, you read Colossians chapter 3, verse 17 every day. It says, whatever you do or say, whatever you do or comes out of your mouth, do it as a representative of the Lord Jesus. Giving thanks to him, to God the Father. Imagine if you had that in your mindset before you said something. I'm representing Jesus right now. What am I going to say next? I shut. Because what I got to say, they ain't gonna represent him properly. But if that's not in here at that time, guess what's coming out? Well, that's what's on my mind, not what's in my heart. See it? Do it as a representative of the Lord Jesus. I'm getting up today. I'm not serving myself. I'm representing Jesus when I go out today. I have to actually choose that. And so do you. If you don't choose that, you're not going to represent him properly. That's what's wrong with the church today. Misrepresentation of Jesus. Not when they're in church, when they're out of church. And people can't tell the difference from a believer or an unbeliever. Because it's a misrepresentation of the church, thinking that my life should be lived for Jesus. That's why he saved me. And that's what people want to see. And if they can't see that, that means I am not growing. But what do I have to do? This has to get in here. That has to get, I'm representing Jesus. Think about the next time you're going to say something to somebody. Say, I represent. I want you to tell them before you say it, I'm representing Jesus Christ right now. And then say it. The next time you're going to perform an action, it says whatever you do when you get up, I want you to say, I represent Jesus, and then go do it. Christians don't even think about doing that. Let's face it, church, we don't even think about doing that. We come here, we hear that, but think about it. It has to be something that's in our thought process each and every day. That listen, I'm not here for me anymore. I'm here for Jesus. And by me giving up my life for him, I'm going to get my life back. But that has to be a thought process. But I get passionate about this. Because I don't want us to play church here. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Time is short. I'm not going to sit here, read the Bible, and go live the way I always live. I want to go read the Bible and live the way Jesus lived. So people can actually see something different in me. John has to stay home. Now, everybody thinks love is, love everybody. This. No, love is getting in someone's face if you have to. Say, look, you represent Jesus, don't you? What are you doing over there? What are you doing in here? This is what the brothers should be corrected, right? But no, the unbelievers correct us. Hey, didn't you tell me you were a saved Christian? What are you doing where what are you doing in this dark place? What are you doing here? Am I actually saying it, or am I actually living it? Or is it just a bunch of empty words? Oh man, I don't know about you, but I always think twice of where I go. Because when I represent God wherever I go, and whatever I do. So wow, I'm held accountable to that. And guess what? So are you. There's one place you're going to get challenges here. But it's funny because you keep coming back, so I guess you like it. Well, think about it. People sin till they die. And it kills them, but they like it and they keep doing it anyway. So why wouldn't we want to do this? Keep doing it anyway, representing the Lord. We do things to kill ourselves every day. Without a problem. Okay, so I hope, listen, when you come here, I want you to read Colossians when you're home, in your own personal time. So then if you have a question about it, you can come up to me and ask me, look, what's going on over here? And then I can help you. But if you're not reading it and studying it like all the time, you're not really letting it enrich your life. It's not enriching your life. It's just an hour. Think about it. Me giving this to you for an hour, you really think it's going to feed your mind, feed you for the week? You have to what? First you get fed like a baby, then you want to feed yourself, right? and you go in there and you eat. All right, let's look what it says in let's keep going. Giving thanks through him to God the Father. Look at instructions for Christian households. Lord, how do you want me to live? Well, it's in the Bible. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to let the Bible tell you how to do it. How's that? It says, wives, submit to your husband as fitting for those who belong to the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and never treat them harshly. I'm like, never? Yeah, even when they're giving you reason to. It says never. Because you know what we do? We justify it. You gave me reason to do it. If you didn't say that, I wouldn't have did that. No, it says never. And I'm like, Lord, I need to go to the woodshed. Because my mouth is like snapping. Just like 3-4 words come out of her mouth and I'm snapping. And guess what? God's using her to change me. And if I can't see that, I'm going to be miserable. There's things in me that need to change, not bounce, just like we're in the garden, you bounce it off. The devil made me eat the apple. It was the girl that you gave me, Lord, that made me do it. It wasn't me. Children. Now, this is talking about Christian households now. Okay? If you're living in not a Christian household, things are going to be a lot different. Children, always obey your parents. Always. For this pleases the Lord. It pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not aggravate your children or they'll become discouraged. So, see how it's like that everybody plays a part in the family? Like I can't aggravate them to bring that out of them. And my wife has to be submissive to me as a Christian husband, but I'm never to treat her harshly when she's not. Because none of us can practice this perfectly. But that doesn't say that it's okay for me if she falls off course, I still have to stay on course. That doesn't give me a reason to stay off course because you treated me bad. No, that's an eye for an eye. Remember, that's done away with, an eye for an eye. You see the problems that we have here? And this is what Christians are supposed to do. How come none of us do it? Because we don't get challenged to do it. It says, slaves or employees, obey your earthly master or your bosses in everything you do. Now look what it says. Try to please them all the time, not just when they are watching you. How can he put that? He penned that in there because he knows human beings, don't he? Yeah. Well, the boss is the way that people will play, right? But no, the Bible's trying to tell us, look, your boss is Jesus. You work for Jesus. Look, when you're home or you work at home or you work at a job, look, remember, you go to work for Jesus and you're accountable to him. That's who you're trying to please all the time, not your employer. That's what the Bible's telling us. See, when you have that inward conviction of the Holy Spirit living in you, it gets stronger and you want to please them. You want to please the Lord because you want to represent him properly. Because you're letting the leading of the Holy Spirit take over. Look what it says. Try to please them all the time, not just when they are watching, when the boss walks in from the shop, right? Everybody, yeah, starts saying in the car. Everybody's saying the guy was reading the paper and doing something else till they walk in, Remember, guess who's watching us? See, we're Christians. We're called to. See, Christians think that we have liberty to not. Listen, we're called to a higher standard than the unbelievers are. Because we're enlightened. We're enlightened. Listen, these people don't know any better. I do, and I'm rebelling. Look, I'm more accountable than they are. Oh, I'm saved. I'm going to heaven. I don't have to do that today. I'm free. Not. No, you're a slave of Christ, the Bible says. It's just not taught enough or practiced enough. Because, like I said, salvation is a one-time event. If I was to talk about that every day for the rest of our lives, what are we going to do in the meantime? I'm going to heaven, I'm going to heaven, I'm going to heaven, I'm going to heaven. I'm saved, I'm saved, I'm saved, I'm saved, I'm saved. Yeah, no kidding, I already know that. What am I saved from? I'm saved from my sin nature and the power of it. That's why he saved me. He didn't save me to keep sinning. He saved me to stop. And God gives me the grace to grow, to stop. Foolishness. Look what it says. In everything you do, serve them sincerely because of your what? Reverent fear of the Lord. What does it say? Fear of the Lord is the key to all wisdom and knowledge. That's the key to your life. Having a reverence for God, knowing that whatever you're doing, God sees it. I don't know, that puts a little chill in me, knowing that. Look, I can get away with anything around you. I can sneak, look, I'm from the street. I can sneak by you in a minute and get one over on you. There's no question about it. You can get one over on me, but you can't get one over on him. That's what gives me a healthy fear. So you know what? Lord, you saved me, and I know the situation that you saved me from. I fear of me having to go back in that situation again by me not obeying you. Trust and obey, because there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Now look what it says here. It's beautiful. Try to please them all the time, right? Look, it says, work willing whatever you do as though you were working for who? Rather than for people. Listen, you got to get up. How many times do I say, every morning I get up and say, I'm going to work for Jesus today. I have to. I have to, because I can start going nuts. I got to drive 13 miles through craziness, Menlo Spring Avenue, Route 44, school buses, cars, you name it. If I don't go to work for Jesus, man, I'm going to be in hell before I get to work. And they're going to get my wrath. And then amen for that. I couldn't wait to come to church because my flesh was just starting to, it wanted to go. It's like you're looking for something. It's like little tentacles. It's out there. I need to get to church. Please, Lord. This place is starting to take over. No? Can I get an amen for that? Look, can we just be real here? I need to get to church. My flesh needs to stay home. I can't. So I know what you go through because I go through it too. It's like starting the tentacle. It's like it's starting to drift. It's starting to lurking. Say, oh, get me to church, please, Lord. Get me to church. Get me with the brethren so I can get out of that state of mind. Just imagine if I didn't get to church. That state of mind would have stayed with me and would eventually give birth to a bad action. I know it. I can feel it coming up. My flesh just starts to crawl. And it's like, Lord, I need you. I need you right now, Lord. I don't mind saying it out loud either, because nobody else can fix me. Only him can save me. I need it right now, Lord. Please help me, help me, help me. Give me some holy handcuffs or something. But give me a holy zipper. Something. See, the whole idea of being a mature Christian is knowing when your sin nature wants to come out and knowing that you don't have to let it out.
Amen.
That's ultimate Christian maturity. Understanding yourself, understanding God, understanding the world, and being accepting of it all. And be able to live in peace in all the storms. That's Christian maturity. Because you can read this till you're blue in the face. 6, 7, 8 times I read this book. It tells me what to do, but then I have to go do it. You see, God does to me what I can't do for myself, is give me the right information, and then He gives me the power to go live it out. Whether I choose to take that power is up to me. Now look what it says. Remember, the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and the master you are serving is Christ. So, whenever you go to work, and whatever you do, you're going to get rewarded. How do you get rewarded? You get, when you don't act in your sin nature, it's an awesome reward there. It's like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't do that. Afterward, you sit down at the end of the day and say, wow, Lord, thank you. Thank you, Jesus, for keeping me from doing that. It's such an awesome reward in it. But there's no reward when we fall into it. And at the end of the day, we start to get that, oh, man. We know we're saved and going to heaven, but we just feel like crap. Because we're not honoring God. We're honoring our flesh. Then it says, but if you do what is wrong, look what it says now. He's talking to Christians here, so don't think that you get away with anything. It says in verse 25, if you do what is wrong, you'll be paid back for the wrong you've done, for God has no favorites. Well, I'm the deacon, and I go to church faithfully every week, and I read my Bible, and then you go do something wrong. God doesn't say, oh, it's okay for you, but not for them. They haven't been to church in a week. No, He doesn't play favorites that way. You see? Amen. I'm glad of that. Because people actually think that they are favored by God because they come to Bible study. They go, no, you're favored by God because you believe in Jesus. That's it. There's nothing else good in you. Just you coming to church and reading your Bible does not give you God's favor. All right, let's go to Colossians 4. Masters or employees, if somebody works underneath you, if you are a boss, it tells us to be just and fair to your slaves or your employees. Remember that you also have a master in heaven. So, if you're the boss, you've got a boss over you, which is in heaven. Amen. Wow. It's like the Bible runs the whole gamut. It talks about everybody: kids, employees, parents, husbands, wives. It tells you, how do I live? Here it is. It's right here. It's in plain English. You don't need to go anywhere else to get it. It's right here. How you should live your life while you're here. It tells us. You don't need any other counselor. You have one counselor, God. He's the ultimate counselor. The Holy Spirit is my counselor. I get that nudge, and He teaches me, this is how you've got to do it, John, right here. And I'm going to help you to do it, because I love you. And I say, you know what? I say, thank you, Lord. Do for me what I can't do for myself. I can't live that kind of life in my flesh. All right, let's go to verse 2. Am I coming across all right?
Yes.
I love everybody. I love the Lord. And to be deceitful up here to you would only be a dishonor to God, because I got to answer to God. He tells me, no, you tell them this. They need to hear this. And so do you, John. Okay. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Right? Devote yourselves to prayer, verse 2. With an alert mind and a thankful heart. So, it's saying, when you go into prayer, be alert. Okay, your spiritual antennas are on, alert. With that and a what? Thankful heart. Going into prayer with a bitter, resentful heart is very, very hard to do. I'm going to pray, but I really don't want to. I'm bitter. I'm angry at God. I'm not sure. I don't like this, what's going on in my life. But I'm going to pray anyway because God will tell me to. But not all of us go to prayer with a thankful heart. All I know is this: when I look back to what God saved me from, I'm very, very thankful today. I am a blessed man. I am a blessed beyond measure man. When I look back and see what God saved me from, I can't even, that choke me up. Why would you still want to use a piece of dirt like me? It says, because you know you're dirt, John. That's why I can use you. You don't think that you're anybody special. You know that you're low and dirt and nothing good in you. That's why I can use you, because now I can show my power through you. You know it's not your power, John, it's my power. And you recognize that and you give me the glory. Now I can use you. I'm a scoundrel, deceitful, rotten to the core without Jesus. And that's what the world created for me. That's what the world did to me. It hardened me. But Jesus says, that's okay, John. I'm going to give you a heart, a new tender heart. Are you sure you can really break through this one? We're going to need more than a chisel. We're going to need that big jackhammer to use on the side of the rope. To plow that up. Listen, I understand that. And that's why I understand who uses in the Bible. When I read the Bible, he doesn't use people that are really high up. He uses the lowly people. Remember King David? He was a sheep herder. He was a shepherd. They thought all his brothers were going to be king because they were prominent, stature, good looking, all had good positions, studying. No, we don't want them. We want that guy down there. He's got my heart. Protecting them sheep with his life. That's the one I want. And guess what? People did not see that. They saw stature and somebody handsome and glowing and perfect to be the king. That's why when Jesus came in riding on a donkey, they said, who's this guy? He's saying he's my king. And this is what people want in church today. Some guy with stature and education and somebody that's been to all these beautiful places and it's high up. That's who I'm going to listen to. Well, then you might as well just go. Well, you might as well just throw this out then because you won't need it. Because that's the teacher. This is the teacher, not people. As long as you come here, that's what you're going to get taught. Now look what it says. Pray for us too that God will give us many opportunities to speak about his mysterious plan concerning Christ. That's why I'm here in chains. He was talking about Jesus and he got locked up for it. So what do you think is going to happen to you if you talk about Jesus in this world? Especially when people don't want to hear it. Pray that I will proclaim this message as clearly as I should. See that? He was praying that he could get the message out as clearly as he could. He needed prayer. Look, I need prayer. The ministry needs prayer. Everybody needs prayer. Well, look, here it is. Look at verse 5. Live wisely among those who are not believers. Wow. Tell me that's not a sharp statement. It says to live wisely among those who are not believers and make the most out of every opportunity. It's saying, when you go out there, you look for an opportunity to get people to Christ. You look for an opportunity. And guess what? You can't get people that already belong to Christ. You have to look for, that's why you have to, it says, live wisely among those who are not believers. So you won't have to say, well, I can't talk to them about Jesus. They're going to say you're full of it. Because the way they see me live. So I can't talk to them about Jesus. Get it? Look at it. Let your conversation be gracious and attractive, not what? Complaining and boring. Gracious and attractive. You know, you tell people, Christian, yeah, but man, my life's a mess. And they don't want to hear it. You're saying, remind me not to go where you're going. No, my life was a mess. Now it's beautiful. I see things different. Yeah, well, how do you do that? I don't do it. God does it.
Amen.
See, that's how you get an opportunity. Now look what it says. Let your congregation attract so you have the right response for everyone. See it? You want to have the right response for everyone. Look, you're in a mission field. Every day you get up in your life, you got opportunities to get people to Jesus by living a godly life. So they finally will see it and they'll say, hey, I want some of that. Hey, what church are you going to? I want to check it out. Because they can actually see something from it. Other than that, they're not going to see anything, and you ain't going to be able to bring anybody. They get an amen for that. You want to fill this church? Get busy living right, and it'll get filled. You don't just pray for the church to get filled. Pray that God will use you to fill the church. He says, I'm doing for you what you can't do for yourself. Now you have to go do what you can do to get people in. Make it a mission. All right, we're going to have to stop there tonight. Just remember, we're going to pick up in verse 7 of chapter 4. Brittany is going to come up to sing, and we're going to close. Thank you.